Good shit.
Walker, I think Walker.
Oh, I didn't know.
Must have been a funeral I was at or something.
I'll do it home for a while.
It was at Holloway. I went to the community foundation dinner for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It wasn't like it was the year we went to Huntingburg. Their cocktail wasn't there like it was.
Man, I aspire to be.
Yeah, I didn't go last year. I normally don't go if it's at Bloomington.
Yeah, and I asked him, that's what I asked him if he could be at Huntingburg, and he said, no, it's back to Florida.
I don't know why, but I just,
On wood, that's where they're going. I do like standing in that hotel out there on the corner.
yeah. But I don't get to stay there. I come home, and grab that. There you go.
13 to 12.
Oh, well, I'm already in another convention for Farm Bureau that same night. I am staying at the Dome, just gonna get up and grab my bus. Get through right away.
Oh, yeah, on the school board in the summer.
Where are we at here? About ready? No, David's not coming for some reason. I don't even,
You're not looking on my book.
I don't even remember him mentioning that to him.
Apologize, because you're doing those spammers. Well, I mean, when you ask somebody for free. They thought, you know, what was that lady that said it?
I use this crappy. That feedback, I don't know how to stop it, and I can't test it until, because it's that YouTube,
Is that your new one?
no,
Probably still ain't bought it.
Yet?
no, I was trying this laptop. I just have like 2 other laptops that I'm ready.
I said, let's get a new one.
I know.
Maybe one even with your name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Ready?
Everything's supposed to change after January,
Yeah, October, I think.
It's 9 o'clock. If you would, please stand and say the pledge with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh. All righty, man, did you get a chance to look over the minutes of the October 29th meeting?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second Cody's motion. Cody with the motion, Aaron with the second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Claims and allowances.
Make a motion to approve the claims and allowances.
Second Aaron's motion.
Motion by Aaron, second by Cody, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Judge not with us yet? Jail phone system. Chief Deputy Keith or Sheriff, you guys wanna come up?
Think we got it.
About the same one.
Oh, you guys already got it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill Bolton.
And she's on top.
Says we're running the same phone system since they built the jail, is that what I read in the email?
Yes,
Well, yeah,
so, originally when the courthouse and prosecutor's office and the rest of the county upgraded their phone systems, the sheriff's office opted to not do that because of the voice over IP being internet-based phones.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be a good fit for the sheriff's office in the event that the internet was down, severe weather, multiple other, scenarios where there wouldn't be internet, our phone systems wouldn't work. So that's why we opted not to do that particular upgrade. Back in August, I had Eck Monday, they came in for, another scenario. And, I talked to them about upgrading our phone system, to not be voice over IP solely based. So they said they have an option to where they can integrate, the phone system with what we have, with new upgraded, equipment. So you have the estimate in front of you. I know that, it shows that it expired in August. I talked to Gary Eck last week. He said he didn't think that quote was gonna change at all, except for, on page 2, you will see they charged, $545.16 for sales tax. That would obviously be removed, so that would put the estimate at approximately $10,508. And that would upgrade all 11, phones that's inside of the jail. And assist, yes,
It's not just the phone,
Right.
the whole system.
Right.
right.
Which has failed on us a few times this year. We've had to fight to get it going again.
Nice. Everything you could think of that we need, I mean, I know like Mondays, I mean, that's everything we could possibly need, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
When was the jail built?
92,
92.
and then we've had 911 for 18 years now. There's still people call that landline when they're having a heart attack or major emergencies.
Right.
They don't think they're important enough for 911.
And, I believe we thought we might try to pay this out of ARPA. If that's something we wanna do. I asked Michelle where we could come up with it. She thought we have it there. So I mean, if that's something that you guys wanna move on.
Make a motion to approve the Ed Mundy contract for the new
Phone
phone
system.
system.
Motion by Aaron,
I'll second Aaron's motion out of ARPA.
second by Cody. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Got one I need to sign or?
Well, they're all the same, so.
I'll just,
Definitely some,
How's the staffing issues going? Do we need to address anything over there? Do we need to look about increasing pay? Do
you want this back?
Are you wanna take care of all of us right now? We might be a minute.
Yeah.
The judge is here now. If you guys wanna go back to her, we can come back.
You're already up here.
Staffing, we've got into the job fair. We've got a few applications. We have made a few hires. We're really struggling to get deputy applications. Currently, we have 2 openings and 1 more expected coming up. The deputy applications are where we're really struggling currently. I don't know where they came from, but we had a burst of jailer and dispatcher applications came to us within like a week period.
Good.
We did some new hires and we're doing some training in right now currently.
What's our numbers look like?
Yeah, 48 total. 14 of those are from out of county.
Lost a few.
A bunch of them.
But we ain't got staff, we ain't got staff, so we can't be holding them. All right,
But we did have, I don't, you remember Travis years ago had a staffing analysis done. I did have another one of those done. I'm waiting for the final report on that. That I've expected we'd be asking for some more positions here pretty soon. It's definitely inappropriate what we're doing currently. We don't have people that's been there for decades, experience,
right,
trying to hold that place together. We're running senior people's, got 6 months experience, so. We're going to, long term, the county needs to figure out something to improve the situation.
I mean, I know they're struggling at state police level too. I mean, I had a conversation with the guy the other day.
It's across the board. I know, I talked to the Pike County Sheriff last week. He just pulled his people another 25% raise. But the tide's are turning. You pay for more for an electrician now and a plumber and all those used to be low paid jobs, flunkies. And now they're the professional jobs where you're paying $120 an hour for them. That maybe the direction that law enforcement's gotta go. Not that we're gonna see Martin County make $120 an hour.
Right.
And the people we had apply, there's one qualified candidate from Martin County. Potentially qualified candidate. And all of our jailers and dispatchers that we're hiring are coming from other counties. So we're definitely just a stepping stone. We're filling the gap of their work history.
Are we doing our exit interviews over here also or no? Does anybody know that?
We-
I mean, we really need to get the data.
We talked to some guys, they won't put truth on paper.
Does Amy do them?
Unless I know of.
So we've done some and we've had some people write some stuff down. But what they say and what they write down is two different things.
I realize that, that's the reason it really needs to be going to an independent. Cause we need to decide if it's a money issue or if it's something else issue for a long-term plan, like you're saying.
Well, one of the deputies that just left, well, both of them, they're going to other counties where they got 3 or 4 guys on the shift with them backup.
Yeah.
Currently they hear your one-man show. It's not uncommon for Lagodi not to have anybody or state police to have anybody, so you're the one guy in the whole county, which isn't necessarily a new thing, but
I've been seeing a state cop running around town. I hadn't seen that in years.
I actually filled in a shift Saturday, so I was solo, there was no LPD, no conservation. And, there was a trooper in the county, but only because he was following up on a case from Friday, so. It's,
Spoke too soon, didn't I?
but so you probably did see one, but.
Well, I spoke with Keith a little after, we had a meeting last Thursday morning and told him to try to come up with an incentive package, you know, maybe so we could offer to these guys, you know, maybe some sort of raise now, maybe take home vehicle, you know, to see what we can come up with, just brainstorm if you guys can, see what we can come up with and bring to us. So we can try to make it a little bit more enticing to them. And the ones that's already here, you know, to keep them, so,
that'd be a big plus is keeping what we got.
yeah.
But they can literally, they don't have to move their house, they can go to another county and take a job, get $20,000 sign-on bonuses and $25,000 pay raises. It's hard to compete with that kind of stuff, but
We're gonna have to. We ain't got an option.
And definitely the vehicle situation, one of our former deputies is employed at Lawrence County. And he has a take-home car and still lives in Lagodi, so. And I know we had kind of discussed that after that meeting, so.
I mean, I don't think we want that to be a deal breaker to why we'd lose something.
Can they not take their vehicles home?
yes, sir, currently they can.
But I mean, that could change. I think it's what they were afraid of, that it might change.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we might not be able to get the whole 10 or whatever money we wanted at one time, but maybe we could get half and do something, you know, we'll just have to see what we can come up with the council. But I mean, we definitely need to stay on it. I know you guys are, so anything we can do to help, I mean, as far as,
I mean, I would think county level wise, that's kind of the top. Ambulance system is the sheriff's department.
And the dealerships that we buy our trucks through have reached out to us last week. They have some 2024s available that somebody ordered that didn't get picked up. The only part that doesn't fit our build is they're black. Going off of next year's vehicle prices, what they know of right now, it'll be at least $7,000 or $8,000 savings if we would have a black truck instead of a white truck. And we would go ahead and get a trade-in value now versus maybe mid-year next year, mid-spring, whenever they open up the bids for the 2025s. So we may save a couple more thousand on each vehicle for trade-in.
And we've had black vehicle before.
Tracy, didn't you have the black one one time or dark brown?
Rob did.
Street had a black.
What? Why has it always been white? Is it just no rhyme or reason?
It's a more visible color. But, I mean, legally, we could have a black one, or a fleet of black ones.
Well, I mean,
But if you guys are good with it, we could move forward. And they're willing to give us the trucks now and wait till next year for payment. So it could be next year's, the vehicles we were planning to trade next year. We could go ahead and secure them this year, if you guys are okay with some black ones running around with it.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Motion by Cody,
Second.
second by Aaron, all in favor? Aye.
Thank
You can't pass up them deals. So,
And speaking of deals, I just want to see with the board officially, if there's an issue with me writing a tax-free loan to the county to get supplies for the county.
I don't have an issue with that. I mean, that's just a process.
I don't think there's anything,
The last meeting, it was brought up that I'd used personal money to make a purchase that the county couldn't purchase due to timeliness. And then
oh,
I didn't say there's anything the matter with it, I was just,
there was implied that I stole the meat.
I don't think I stole me.
Hope the inmates got it.
I'm not gonna get personal here,
That's not personal, it's professional. You're slandering me on the record, accusing me of stealing meat. If you want to see it, it's at the DLR, I got pictures on my phone.
no comments.
but no, we didn't, we understood why that happened. I mean, they wouldn't take a credit card at that place or,
The only way we could get it is if I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I was willing to do that to save the county almost 50% or $6,000. I don't know. If we don't want to do that in the future, we can spend.
I don't think we really have a problem doing that. I mean, if,
Ain't no different buying gas for your vehicle and you get reimbursed. Same difference.
It was a huge savings for the county and the budget.
so we're gonna have some black trucks, huh? How many?
I think we could afford to do 3 with these. With what's in the budget for next year.
Oh, nice.
The budget is for sure, correct.
Mhm.
You ever heard back from the state? We're good?
That won't be till the end of December, like the official good,
Oh,
but yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Pre-approved.
make it happen.
And then there's a bunch of people trying to run around and accuse me of being a liar currently. But I wanted to ask you guys, did you see anything that I made comment on that was a lie or stretched the truth?
I haven't seen anything that was unofficially a lie or slander.
We've all been on the text chains and seen the stuff. I was hoping we could put this behind us and move on.
That'd be great if we could.
We need to, as not only just individuals, but as the county.
The slanders and the lies. Last week now, I've supposedly stole $70,000 from commissary.
I've not heard that.
People just trying to discredit my character, which I just cleared State Board of Accounts investigation, as you guys know. There's several lies going around and they all, a lot of them lead back to one person on this board. If there's issues, feel free to reach out to me anytime.
The only issue was, I thought it was very, very unprofessional what you did on the sheriff's office Facebook page.
Informing our citizens of a valid issue that's been going on for years.
I mean, it's illegal. I mean, but
No more illegal than you stating a fact in this meeting on Martin County YouTube.
Sheriff, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. I mean, we can be professional and put this behind us, or we can, you know, have a pissing contest the rest of the 2 years, whatever, so.
I'll just make it clear that I didn't stretch any truth or lie. It didn't go that way both ways. Appreciate you guys' support on the phone system.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I do hope we can put all this behind us and move on.
I'm good with it being behind. The dumb stuff's gotta stop.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, thank you, guys. Judge, what do you got for us?
Two things. So.
You were also looking into getting one of these from Coy. Did you ever, get back with us on a,
So the metal detector for the courtroom, I believe I sent some informal information out there, a couple requests for metal detectors. I was asked where the old one was, which is junk in the jail. I believe it's been hauled off at this point. I know.
it was supposed to have been.
Okay,
Correct.
so that doesn't exist anymore. And, I know there was some discussion about maybe trying to go with some used ones. I had a concern about that. I don't know why we'd want to buy something that's used, because to me it's probably broken or has a problem. So I was not in favor of that. We reached out to Coy because he does, the cameras and stuff for the court, and basically the whole courthouse. And so he, did not give us an official quote, did not give us any real product. I've been trying to get with him before this meeting, and I think John spoke to him this morning, and he gave us kind of an idea, but it's a big metal detector. It's the giant, old school
Oh,
walk through.
like the arch.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
anything we want.
Yeah.
It's not technology wise for us, it's not anything. we
And
want.
so it's just the old school walk through big metal detector. You gotta have I mean,
Yeah.
it needs a lot of space, and we don't have a lot of space, and what we're looking at, I just don't think it's effective. I mean, the price, and what do you quote you?
10 to 12, I think.
But nothing in writing. We have nothing in writing, and I've been trying to get it for about, let's say, 3 weeks. I'll put it at that. And so I didn't have anything for you this morning from him other than verbal, and I don't like to bring that. So this is the one that I've emailed you. It has the information, and I will say for the meeting and the benefit of everybody who's listening is that we did have, them come in and show us, we have a courthouse security team that meets, and in one of our meetings, they brought in the device and showed us how it works and how portable it is. And I think it's what we're looking for. I like the portability of it. You can move it inside, outside the courtroom. When we do the renovation, there's gonna be 2 points to plug it in, inside and outside. And I think it will just work for what we're looking for. So, I mean, I'm of the opinion that we need security when you walk in the building. I will say that. So I don't think you all have ever heard me say that. I know Paul has, because he sits on that courthouse security team. But I believe this whole building needs security. I believe when you walk in this building that you should go through a metal detector. I believe that y'all should provide that person that provides the security all the time in this building. However, we don't have that. When I'm a special judge on cases, I go to other counties. I walk through them, or, you know, they let me by because I'm the judge, but there's concerns about the safety of the people who work in these buildings, and so I'm gonna continue to come back and ask for security and making it better, and I believe in doing the best that we can. So, I mean, this may not be the last time you see me just because of this meeting, but you know, Paul sits and he gets to hear my regular opinions on security. So I am gonna share with you also a photo that an attorney sent to me, this last week about like just what types of weapons people bring in. And you maybe know about them. I thought it was very interesting, but it's this is their metal detector. And I think they have kind of the big, you know, walk through, but their screen, and it's a cane. It was somebody's cane that's a sword. And so, you know, they caught that on their metal detector and obviously made the person leave the building and go put it away, but you know, it's illegal to have that even in a cane. And so our notes say no weapons. You know, probation has had issues with people bringing weapons into the building, making them take them back out. I had a security safety issue, where Keith Keller came with, you know, 2 other deputies, and an individual wanted to see me, and, you know, he was escorted out. He had a weapon on this person, and they brought back in. And so there are issues, you don't always know about them. We don't always make them public. There's things that have happened in the courthouse. We had a deputy trying to serve a warrant, you know, that was injured. And had we had somebody upstairs, that may have stopped that person from getting out of the building. And so there are safety issues in the building. I don't like to say that publicly. I don't want to address that on the record, but I do need you to support this. And if we don't buy it by the end of the year, they're increasing it. The cost of it's gonna go up. And so, you know, I'll just be asking you to buy it again next year for an increased price. So this is something I've asked for all year. You guys have approved the bailiff position. You know, John's here. Right now, we get 28 hours. He's part-time. And I don't know if I have gotten approval from you for him to be full-time. I guess I should have put that on the agenda for today. But council did approve increasing him to a full-time position. So we have him when we're courts in session all the time, which is why I think having this metal detector now coming into the new year would be great, because he'll be here full-time. So I don't know if John wants to add anything. He's welcome to. He's changed the dynamic in the courtroom. Sure.
I mean, that's my argument about having a metal detector is it's gotta be manned, right?
Here's the man. I brought the
So
man.
there's no sense at the time we didn't have one.
I understand.
So, and this is downstairs?
It will be downstairs because the way that the position works is he's approved as a court employee, and the sheriff has been so gracious and supportive of the position that he has given him deputy powers to be able to carry everything he needs as a deputy and to work in the courtroom with those special powers. And so this gives us that as well. And the sheriff still supports us with people as he can. Keith had to come over last week and they were short-staffed. And so they've given us a deputy, given us backup on having a deputy in the courthouse to, you know, for everybody's security. But I mean, John is in the courtroom when court's in session all of the time. And the purpose is to provide that security to the courtroom. I believe we need somebody in the courthouse all the time. And the issue is the people, and I think, you know, as we continue to meet for this courthouse security team, that's something that we'll come back for eventually and say, this is a need that we see and we want to address it. But this is what the team's kind of put together, getting the bailiff, that's been approved, and that,
Right.
you know, trying to get this. So yes,
Right,
we
and
do have the person now. As it relates to downstairs, this would be downstairs. When we reno the courtroom, it's gonna have the possibility to be inside or outside. John has a laptop. It will, he'll be trained on it. It'll have points of contact. You can set the levels. It will notify him. He'll have a computer, the laptop that's hooked up to it, so he can be in the courtroom. If it's on the outside, he can see what it says.
Yeah,
I can still monitor it.
it's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
he doesn't have to be standing right
No,
there at
I
it.
can leave that outside in the hallway, cause I've changed a lot of things in how we do things down there security wise. Like, that door's not open when we're in the court. If court's in session, that door's closed. It's not locked, but it's closed. I do that for security reasons, because then if somebody I know when somebody's coming in out of the courtroom, okay? But I've got a bailiff desk that sits right beside her, okay? That's where my laptop will go. That system can be outside and I can have the camera system in the courthouse and that system on my computer screen at the same time. So if it goes off, I won't only know that it goes off, I will see in real time who set the thing off. So all I've gotta do is just walk straight to the door. We don't have to have somebody out in the hallway 24/7.
So- I guess there are only two ways down there, is the elevator or stairs, right?
That's it.
And so if you got a camera monitoring that before you get to the metal
Mhm.
detector.
That's why we put
And
the
I've got-
camera up.
And there'll be a camera, we put a new camera in down there also for where the metal detector is gonna go and it'll shine, it goes right straight down on where the metal detector is gonna be at. Ahead of time.
Yeah, that's what I thought was pretty nice about this,
Yeah.
though. It can be hooked right to a computer system.
Yes.
I mean, you can be sitting up there.
And they will come and train us. They will come and spend time with me
I
training.
mean, I'm just thinking is if there is a situation and I'll be the bad guy now, I'm wanting to come in and I know this is there and I know there's camera, I'm coming in hot, you ain't gonna catch it, cause they're gonna be at the door before you even know they're there.
If they're coming in hot like that, they're gonna meet me.
But I'm
That's right in
saying,
the middle.
you're gonna walk in the door normal, nobody's paying attention, cause there's nobody there, and there's business, nobody sees who comes through the door to turn right, and you just run down them stairs, you've been there before you know it. So back to your point,
But,
it seems worthless to me because you're not catching it at the front door.
My point
well,
is,
that'd be great
it
if you wanted
it
to
would
put
be
them up there.
fantastic to have that, but you have to have a person.
Yeah,
You guys
I
gotta
understand
create a
that.
position, you gotta hire a person, you gotta get somebody as good as John, and good luck, cause that was a miracle, literally, that he applied and we were able to fill the position. He's got law enforcement background, retired. You know, that made it easy for the sheriff to say yes, you know, for all the pieces to come together. But yeah, I mean, we need that, and it's
I would-
unreasonable.
maybe we
to
can,
think
if
that
we
now.
originally or eventually do get to some courthouse security, we could get somebody that's. There's no way we're gonna get anybody really qualified, because I mean, we can't get any real good deputy applications. So I mean, we might have
I
to,
mean, we got lucky, I'll say that with John, like.
we
he
might
got-
have to just get us another person and John could, train him on
Yeah.
just security here.
I am not opposed to that. I think that's a great idea. I don't, there's some people who.
I mean, they would not have the same powers, that
They
the
don't-
sheriff
they
is
don't
gonna
seem
can.
I'm just trying to look the big picture, I ain't saying I'm
Yeah.
just trying to help
Yeah.
the
I
situation.
agree, and there is a price for two on there. You know, if you wanted to, it's on there. Sheriff did not need one. So to me, this building needs one, and but they quoted us two in case we wanted to. And they give you a better deal, that's how it is, buy two. But I'm not here to say that I don't want you to do that, but I'm here to say I need this metal detector for the end of the year because the price is gonna go up. And
Well, and
they,
I spoke with Michelle on this and, I believe since we are moving the plug-ins, we're redoing it for our remodel downstairs, we might be able to, I think we can go with Cume Cap on this, since it's gonna be part of the remodel.
right, that's
So, I
my
mean,
hope. And obviously the remodel's not happening in December like we had thought. It's happening a little bit later, but it's still part of that project.
So do we need one or two?
I mean, if
I
you
would
do create a
want for
position
now.
and move somebody up here, you can always move it upstairs and
Yeah.
we can still do the training. They provide the support. These,
We could always buy another.
We need it downstairs right now for sure. Because it's, you've got everybody that comes down there. Like when I am in the courtroom, when we're having court, okay? I don't know who's coming in and out of the hallway. You don't have no idea right now. You don't know who's coming through the door, okay? This out here, I'll be honest with you, is a security nightmare coming in that front door. Even if you put metal detectors out there. I don't know how you're gonna do it right now. You're gonna have to do something different because you got, as soon as you come in, you got the elevator, you got stairway. Like most courtrooms, just go to Greene County, look at Greene County. I mean, as soon as you walk in the door, you're 5 foot, you're meeting a deputy. And there's the center. You take everything out of your pocket, you go through, it's just like the airport. I mean, you don't get in their courthouse, period, unless you go through a metal detector. That'd be great if we could have that up here, but I understand that's not gonna happen right now. We need the one. We need this one downstairs. We need it 100%.
But
I mean,
just, if if we move into that direction, do you need the one downstairs then?
Well, you could just move it up here.
Yeah, we just
Is it
move
good
it up
enough to
here.
do that?
It is. These
Yeah.
are actually the ones that they use in DOC and they set the
Yeah.
level of contact, so they can be very invasive or they can be a little less. Like
Yeah.
they've got different multiple points of contact. I think it's 5 or 6. And then the level of what they detect, whether it's your phone, your keys, you know, other things. So and DOC is the one that they generally sell these to. They like how they're portable and the way that they work. So
I
that's
just don't wanna
typically.
underbuy if we end up.
I
you
think
guys
you could,
eventually
I mean,
move
if
up to the
you're,
front door.
to me, you need one metal detector in your courthouse. Well, I'm not you. You get to decide who has that position and what you pay them and what they're gonna
Right,
do. All I
right.
have right now is John
Right,
and the sheriff, and the sheriff gives us, I'm not, I don't wanna just put down anything that he does, because he's given us a bailiff. There's for
Right.
years and
But-
a deputy.
and we're shorthanded.
And we are, so that's been amazing.
And I
have
thought,
John.
also when the woman gave the demonstration, didn't she tell us if there was any upgrades?
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
give them
they're
to us.
reprogrammable too.
Yes.
They are.
So-
I mean, so this is not like something that's gonna go out of date.
No, they
2 or
can come
3
in if
years.
there's,
Do you remember, Paul, what she
companies
said
get
the age on them was? Like, I can't remember, but I was thinking it just lasts forever. She just
Yeah,
was
I
like,
mean, it was
basically they just reprogram and
Yes.
give them an update and it's like.
almost indestructible, she said.
Yeah.
Cause she just drags hers around all over the country, that same one in a box and,
I mean, I'm for it, yeah, I'll make a motion.
but yeah,
to approve it.
they are reprogrammable, so whenever a new version comes out, they can update them.
Like I said, I was just concerned for you guys to move forward.
Well, you're
with
paying
something.
for it, it belongs to you. So if you create a position and there's somebody up here setting and monitoring it, I don't have a problem moving it upstairs.
Well, I mean, that's determined on your guys' little security board, so, well, I know.
Well, so what it is the Supreme Court mandated that the judges create a courthouse security plan. And in doing that, they mandated who was on the board. And so the judge is the chairperson, and then you have the prosecutor, probation, sheriff. One of you all have to sit on there, that's Paul. We have to have, a council person sit on there, we have to have, Andy's on there. So we have all of the people who are involved in,
Right,
you know, stakeholders as far as sitting on that. And so we meet not quarterly. I don't know, probably, well, maybe we met quarterly to get the plan created or whatever. So then we submitted our plan. We're in compliance, we meet minimum standards. So the goal of these in every courthouse is that you get your security better. And so that's what we worked on. You guys have approved the cameras. We've gotten that, you know, gave us the bailiff. So now we're just trying to get there to where we need to be.
I'll make a motion to approve the metal detector.
Second Cody's motion.
That's a motion by Cody on the metal detector for the courthouse,
And
Uh,
one, correct?
one.
Yeah.
And second by Aaron. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. I will send, Becky an email and let her know and get with you, Michelle, as far as, so we keep that price.
Probably to come from ARPA funds. Or no, from our.
QCAP, right?
QCAP.
And then I don't know if I can add this late, but the new probation officer position, so I went to the council. I had put it in my budget, they didn't approve it, I think I went back a couple of times, and they finally did approve a new probation officer position. Starting January 1, I'll have a third PO. And I need you to approve that position, is my understanding, because it went from a part-time case manager to a full-time probation officer. And essentially, I guess I need to do that with the bailiff, because I didn't do that either.
And it's also a January 1.
It is,
Yeah.
it is, and that was approved by, the council in my budget, I believe. I think the pay was different in the second meeting, Michelle. Yeah, but they've approved
So-
both of them.
We're looking to do the new probation officer position.
I'll make a motion to do the new probation officer position and John's
Full-time,
full-time status.
thank you.
Effective January 1st.
Yes,
That is from,
I'd separate them, cause
okay. We'll do, the probation officer first.
I'll make a motion to do the, new probation officer for the judge.
Effective January 1st. We've got a motion from Aaron. I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Bailiff position also will be effective January first, full-time.
Make motion.
I'll second Aaron's motion.
Motion by Aaron, second by Cody. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. That was all I had. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good day, John.
Yep, we'll see you.
Scott, you got some bids to open.
Hey.
Oh, Jeremy, are you on duty? Okay. Sorry about that. I thought if you wasn't.
Go ahead. I'll go ahead. We have our annual bids for 2025, so.
Well, what we'll have you do is we'll just have you open them, say who they're from and what for. Because you'll have to go to David and
Yes.
make sure everything's in there.
This is Cape Quarries for stone, cold mix and hot mix.
I am curious about eights. Sevens or eights, whatever, 53.
Yeah, told her 8s, 11s, 53s, 73s.
Yeah.
That's our major.
Pickup for eights is 1125. Delivered to Shoals is 1855. 11s are 1275. Plant pickup and 2005. Delivered to Shoals. 73s are $10. Pickup and 1730s to Shoals.
Okay.
Mm. Mm. Hot mix is 86 a ton. Glen Brothers is cold mix. Pickup is 115 a ton. And delivered is 150 a ton. Roger.
You say that was 150 a ton delivered?
Delivered, 115 delivered, 150. Picked up. Or 150 delivered.
It's $35 a ton to deliver it. Or 20-ton load.
Home mix is not cheap.
Is that about what it was last year?
I'd have to check on co-mix. That's probably not
That's cheaper.
cheaper than,
We ever run down there and get our own, or?
we was using a different company and we were.
And it was 175 for us to pick up.
Hmm.
This is Rogers. Eights are 17 a ton, picked up $27 a ton, delivered. 11s are 1750.
Jeez.
73s are $12.75.
2275 delivered, right?
11s are 27.25 delivered, and 73s are 23 delivered.
Our graduate business out there ever.
$17 a ton.
This is US Ag for rock, 8s are picked up are $13 a ton. And their haul rates to Shoals is gonna add $10.25. So 23.25.
Yeah,
$23 a ton for 11s,
How much?
23. End-all 11s are 23, regular 11s are 17.
yeah.
73s is $10.50 a ton. Civil supply, this would be culverts. If I can-
Wonder what they do different to get the end dots instead of just the regular.
Cleaner road. Typically using NDOT 11 for our dirt patchers, so. I'd say we can use civils. I just do, 15 to 18, but probably be our biggest one, so.
Okay. Civil supply 15 is 10.48 a foot. 18s are 13.60 a foot.
16,
What?
what's the price?
13.60 a foot for the 18s.
That is plastic culverts.
They double pond, and they have plastic in metal. Um,
We won't go through all of them, but we typically use, let's just go off an 18-inch. Give you a galvanized 14 gauge is going to us 22.50. An 18-inch galvanized, it's gonna be around $27. It's just a metal corrugated. We like to do it all if we can. They seem to last longer, but obviously the price is more on them. See that actually in here, so. We'll have to go with them prices for now, and I'll give them one poly coated, so. Actually, no, I do have the poly price, I'm sorry. 14 gauge and 18 is 42.46 a foot. And the 15's 35.38 a foot, so. And I cannot compare them with last year. I don't have that sheet in front of me, I'm sorry, but
Remember how our stone come in last year, Teresa?
I can tell you your rates last year was at $10.50 a ton from the plant. Your 11s were $12 and your 73s were $7.85. Everything there is from the plant.
Yeah,
I think you could add,
so about 75 cents on 8s, 11s, and then a couple dollars on the 73s.
yeah,
All right.
reason it never gets cheaper.
Elevens used to be pretty cheap stone. Yeah. So I guess it'd be up to us to recommend that you, we take these under advisement, so you and Dave can go over through everything, make sure all the paperwork's in order.
Call his office today and set up an appointment if we can, so.
We should probably. Motion, yeah, please.
Make a motion to take the bids under advisement until Scott and Teresa discuss it with the attorney.
It's a motion by Aaron,
Second, Aaron.
second by Cody, all in favor? Aye. Everybody up and running?
Yeah, we're still hunting for mechanics, still hunting for operator, any qualified candidates, to be honest, so.
How, truck drivers, how many short are we?
One right now.
And what are we gonna do? We got a plan.
I mean, if we would go that route, I would come in and ask that we send them somewhere to be trained. We know it's about $3,000 to $4,000. I think that's something we probably need to discuss.
I think so too, and I think it ought to be something like we do with our deputies where it's gotta be reimbursed.
Yeah.
The state
I
has a
would totally,
reimbursement program.
Well, I'm talking about if an employee leaves early and we,
right,
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
I don't think I have a problem paying somebody $5,000 to go get certified, but we also need to get our bang for our buck.
Totally agree, totally agree.
So I think that's something you guys ought to be working on.
If you want us to bring something to you, we can definitely do
Yeah.
it.
We had something, at the sheriff's department, we still do have it, I mean, to where when we sent them to the academy, they're supposedly locked in for a couple of years, I believe, wasn't it? 3 years? 3. And, you know, scales down after the longer they're here on how much they owe us, but I mean, yeah, we definitely need some ordinance in place like that, if we're gonna start doing that.
But we honestly haven't even had, I don't believe I've had anybody come in that, out of CD, that's even applied yet, so.
But is it something that, I'm just thinking that's out loud, Scott, I know we've not discussed this, but we should have, but. I mean, these younger kids coming in, I mean, I would think, does our application process mention that you have to have it?
This one here does not.
Okay.
This would be the first time since I've been here, we have posted it as operator. Period, and we did put CDL would be preferred, but all applications will be considered.
I know you guys hired him in the past, but that was before state law got into effect.
I'll take it back, I guess we have hired one before everything was changed since I've been here. And he got his CDL after he was here, so. Yeah, I do have to back up.
I'm just afraid as leaving like the sheriff's department.
It is, it's,
I mean, it's been a problem for 4 years since we've come in office, and I think you guys need to start asking for money. I think you need to ask for money.
And like I was saying, the state does have a program to where if we retain them for 6 months, they will reimburse us up to so much per person. And then there is a county max.
All right. What else we got? Anybody else for Scott?
I think you got some little bids.
Oh, yeah.
I got another question about the mechanic. Have we been, farming it out?
The new one today.
Have you had to come and ask for
Yeah.
more money because we've been farming it out, or we starting to see we can offer more money because it's costing us more money yet?
we haven't,
Oh, here's the new one we just got today.
we have farmed it out, but we're still within our budget. I can say that. How
I didn't
that could be
expect that.
next year, now I don't know.
I didn't expect to hear that.
Well, I've got a couple of guys that's really stepped up and they do a lot. I appreciate it when they do it. But again, when they're in there doing that, then it's taken away from other projects that we've been doing too. So,
Right, yeah, robbing from Peter to pay Paul.
exactly.
And, I mean, we need mechanic, not operators doing mechanic jobs. I mean, yeah, you're right, it's great they're filling in, but I think you need to be asking for more money from the council and getting somebody hired.
We're looking at right now, the heating and air conditioning unit out at the highway.
Probably the paper clipped one underneath the.
I've seen it somewhere.
And then that was one more. Did you get the extra in there?
Yeah, I think that was the one just come past.
And these are all apples to apples, correct, on the unit?
Came out with everything we got.
Five, 10 units, or two of them, it's like, yeah, they're all 5, 10 units.
Mary,
Under contemplating, what would it be possible for you to read the people that are bidding and the prices they're quoting publicly?
yeah,
Thank you.
M&M Electric. $8,967.20. Kingdom Air. $8,945.16. A&R Supply. $9,300. And JT Mechanical. $8,710.78.
Thank you very much.
I was just looking over a few things. Sorry, Mary, I got lost there looking. I
It's
mean,
okay.
Cause I see on a few of them, I've got a service disconnect and whip for AC and a furnace disconnect switch. I noticed I've got that on a couple of them. And then I also noticed on a couple of them where it says 10-year parts and a 5-year labor warranty on one and a 10-year parts and 2-year labor on another. But then on a couple of them, I'm not seeing the warranty.
I think one of them had like a service.
Yeah, the Kingdom Air has the 1-year club membership,
Well,
which includes 2 cleanings a year.
they've got a new outdoor pad for the outdoor unit.
Yeah, but it didn't, you know, it's talking about the warranty and stuff, it's carriers providing the warranty.
Probably 10-year,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that's all standard.
I just didn't know,
Right,
I know
right.
like, M&M's got a 5-year labor warranty, so I mean,
Standard, so they might have a little different.
all right, guys.
You brought up a couple of good questions. Well,
I think it needs tabled for a couple of questions because they need to tell us. I mean, I was leaning towards that.
I was too until I didn't see any new disconnect switches
Of
or,
course, shouldn't it already have one?
well, I mean, it should. I mean, here, a couple of them are plainly stated.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm with Cody.
I think
We need to table this and make just a few phone calls and see where we're at on some of that stuff. I mean, I know the unit and everything's apple to apple, but I mean, I don't want us to get into them, well, now that we've got maybe a switch issue here or there, then now we've got a little more added. Do you think, Mary?
Well, I apologize because I don't know who put assistant at the library because I don't remember that. But they do, whoever it was does come a couple times a year. Now, the library provides like the filters and things, but they come and if the filter's there, they change the filter. That's just part of what they do. And I apologize, though, I don't know who that, I don't know.
Yeah, we've got an agreement. I believe we still have the agreement in place with M&M for over at the jail. No, yeah. They come out and they do our service probably a couple times a year. Yeah.
But realistically, out there could be done by employees because I do my own, I change my filter once every 2 months and,
I change yours.
oh my God, it's.
Yeah, ours could out the highway, but I mean, you know, they gotta climb up on the roof out at the.
Right, yeah, we went through all that
Yeah,
rigmarole.
So what else I do besides changing the filter, I don't know. But yeah, change our own filter out there, so.
Chop back out the fan, squirrel cage if it's, you know.
but yeah, I think, Cody's made a motion to table this to the next meeting.
Second, Cody's motion.
Moose or Aaron at the second. All in favor? Aye. Yeah, if you could just, do you wanna do that, Teresa, or do you want us to, or? Okay. we need to check with A&R, get a little bit more of what they're doing. And, JT. On the switches and stuff like that. I know the 10 years is just gonna be standard, but. So, anything else, guys?
For us, right?
And if you get that info, if you can email it over to us or something, so we can. All right, well, anybody have anything else for highway? Not? All right. I would say thanks and I'm gonna let you leave early so you can go home, but I'm not gonna do that today, Scott.
Okay, and if you
I know.
recommend that,
Nice out there.
I was just off yesterday.
Jeremy,
Can't live in the past, go.
or have you gotta get back to work, Monty? Okay. You wanna go first?
What do you want?
Everything. This is your quarterly report you're all asking for. Not on the
Right
right
place. We're giving a lot of everything away today.
Yeah, I know.
So this just, what, July, August, and September, that's not June on the bottom, although that's what it says. As of today, we've done 1,263 runs, we did one this morning. We brought in a little over $386,000. And then the 3 July, August, and then the bottom one is September, just shows you the run volume. Same stuff we always go over. If you have any questions on it or not. Volume was a little light in August compared to last year, but last year on this date, we did, we've done about 60 more runs this year than we did last year. To the date, roughly.
Are we getting any better on the collections? Have we?
Still working on that, so there's the ability to go after, this up, but that attaches to their, property tax bill or collections. We've looked at both. There is a collections company we talked to that it's 30%, which I consider actually pretty low for collections, and they go back a full 2 years, 30% for the whole 2 years. It's not, after 2 years, it would be more, but, like we're still playing the game of which one is better for the county. I think we're talking to Crawford County, and trying to, and we're going to try to figure out what works best for us. So that's in the process. We've not, gone much further than that though.
So you're saying that it could be attached that way,
Yeah,
and they're charging 30% to attach it, or are you saying there's,
No, it's a
we can
different-
attach them and not charge?
Completely
30%?
different program. And
I
I
don't
think
know the
there is,
details,
there is a
honestly.
fee to be part of that program. It's like, it's a state program, correct?
Mhm.
But then like people in apartments and stuff that don't own property, you miss out on anything from there, but that's the game, is which sounds better.
The only, and maybe I'm off base or, the only thing I would see with a lot of, maybe not, I'm guessing a lot of your runs are probably older people.
The
They're,
majority probably are, yes.
I just don't wanna take grandma's, grandma's house away
Yeah,
from
but they're
her.
on Medicare, Medicaid, or
A lot of times
Medicare, I mean,
cover
so they're
that.
covered under insurance if they're older people.
Right,
They're the
and so
ones not paying, correct?
and we've got people that, there's a lady here in Shoals actually that I think she owes us $750 or so, and she pays me $10 a month, but that's showing something. But then we have people that just like, I don't care, I don't pay anything. And the I don't cares are the ones that you would say, hey, listen, get something,
Yeah.
right?
I don't understand why the taxpayer should have to pay. I mean, in the day, the taxpayer pays.
Yeah, so, but with Medicare, especially with your elderly,
a lot of times Medicare, which, and correct me because you've done a lot more billing than I have. But once Medicare pays, they may have a deductible or whatever, but Medicare sets the rate of what that can be. It's not,
Gotcha.
you know, Medicare pays this and we're just gonna pile all this other on. Medicare is not, it's a law, it's not a policy per se, so, so there's some protection for your elderly on that, for sure.
Gotcha. And I understand you gotta look at both options. I mean,
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Any questions about anything else on there for me? Everything's going pretty good. So you, I've talked to you as individual, I believe, have allotted money from ARPA to, the department for various things that I think it's more important that we might reallocate that money for another truck. Instead of like the, IV pump and the ventilator, that maybe I think a truck would be smarter to spend that on. So I'm asking you guys permission to reallocate, extra funds for the 4th ambulance. And then we'll have to see what we'll have to do above and beyond that number.
We've got one located.
You do, yes.
Is it pretty well online with our other three?
It's virtually the same, yeah.
Nice.
It's different colors, but other than that, it's, yeah,
Pink.
of course, pink.
Low miles. About the same.
Around 100, so
Yeah.
it's Duramax engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And this won't just be a backup, it'll also, I mean, we'll just probably just rotate it in service
yeah, you're
sometime.
in service. Sure.
Keep miles down on all of them that way. Yeah, I like that.
Right.
And then if we do have one in the shop, then we can still do our 2 on duty and then 1 for transports.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And my big concern is, you know, eventually we're gonna have to, if we stay in the ambulance business, we're gonna have to buy another ambulance. That's just how it works. I mean, you're gonna wear one out or God forbid one gets wrecked.
Then trying to find one if one gets wrecked and we're over the middle of deer season. We've
You're,
already hit deer already.
and as I've covered before, it's a 30-month wait right now on a new ambulance, last time I checked. And those run about $320,000. Not really a market that I think we wanna mess with. The used ones are hard to find and they just keep going up. So this one is already in county. It's already, you don't have to pay anybody to go anywhere to get it, transportation fees or whatever, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the.
And we can just
reallocate
move our ARPA money, if
ARPA money.
we've already got it in his account, we can just,
Yeah, it's sitting in the ARPA fund, but yeah, you guys can choose.
Make a motion to approve reallocating our ARPA money. to Purchase the 4th bus. Sound good?
motion from Cody, second good.
second Cody's motion.
Second by Aaron. And has that one got a lot of stuff in it that we already need, or?
No, basically, it's got a few things in it, but not a lot. Most of your stuff is your soft goods and stuff like that, you know, your bandages and your,
Right.
right, so. But if one was down for maintenance, you could take like a cardiac monitor, the big items, and move them over to the other truck and you're good to go.
Okay.
Is there anything on the report, the quarterly report, that you guys would like to see added? Other than what's just on here as far as the runs go?
Hold on just a second. I've got a motion and a second. I just had that question pop in my head. All in favor? Aye. Sorry about that. I just had that question in my head, so. Let's see, anything extra that we would want on here?
This is kind of the standard I always give you, but I didn't know if.
I kinda like the fact that I can see what we're doing from last year and
Mm-hmm.
I assume you can keep that records and continue adding that from year to year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I hate to say we're increasing, cause that's,
Right, more runs for the count,
I
yeah.
mean, I hate to say that, that means I want less people having issues, but
Does the transport count as a run?
Yes, it would be documented as a run. I had to think there for a minute. As far as like the other, in the left-hand column, the others, that could be, going to the funeral home, or it could be, I don't know. Just something that's not already documented in the system.
No, I mean, I can't see anything, it looks. It's good to me. Staff, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we've got one gentleman that, has resigned for health issues. I do have an application, looks really good. We'll talk to her on Thursday. So otherwise, we're doing pretty good.
Good, nice.
Yep.
Well, anybody else have anything? Anybody? All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jimmy, appreciate it.
Monty, Andy.
I went to the directors meeting in Petersburg last week and, not a whole lot to report on, as far as all the directors in District 10, but,
One thing that did come out of that meeting, and this affects Jeremy in the sheriff's office, is that anyone with 800 megahertz radios that aren't routinely used need to make sure they turn them on so that they get counted at the state. They keep statistics, and unused radios are at jeopardy of being disabled if they're not used occasionally. So if you have any radios that aren't keyed up very often, make sure they get keyed up in the next month.
yeah, they was talking about the state wanting to, because there's only a limited number of radios that the system will handle. So as 800 gets more prevalent, the ones that's not being used, will be discontinued, and then they're even trying to, I don't know if they'll get through or not, because one of the directors was, explaining about that, and they're just gonna set a time limit, say if your radio's sold, even though it's still functioning, and so that's not a good thing. Those radios, cheap ones are $3,000 a piece. And, I mean, that about half what it was to begin with, but we got a grant for the first ones. And, they're, you know, it's just like everything else, the times change and, so you just kind of have to work with the system, and especially since it's regulated by the state, to do whatever you can to stay within their guidelines. But, that could present a problem in the future. Generally, we don't have that many of them out. I mean, for day-to-day ops, you don't need it. It's mainly if you have the bad thing is, you know, it's kind of if you don't use them, then they want to get rid of them, but then if you don't need them and you're using other systems, throughout the normal things, you've got to have systems ready out to run if you know, a big emergency happens. You got to be talking back and forth to the state, because that's the nice thing about the 800 megs. You can use them for talking within other organizations, or, you know, you just pick it up and talk to the state direct. I mean, it's just like you're just talking to anybody else right beside you. I mean, it's a good system. It's just that it's limited in its capability, and so they have to do something to try to, you know, keep down people that's not using it. So it's a two-edged sword, but otherwise, you know, we're trying to work within the system and do what we can. We bought, you bought what, 2 or 3?
3 more, yeah. Maybe buy a couple more with the leftover funds at the end of the year.
Yeah, because
Quick way to get productive use out of spent money.
Yeah,
So,
because a couple of our radios are, well, more than that, but several of them are very well done.
another thing is that Crane has a resilience review meeting this weekend that I'll attend on Friday. So, and the only other thing I have is that the Amateur Radio Club is meeting again tonight, so anyone who is interested in amateur radio, they're invited to come by the EMA building at 7 o'clock tonight.
all right.
That is something to keep in mind. I'm real pleased with the way that has, kind of
come back to life in the county, and because, worst case scenarios, that's your last hope.
Got about 10 to 15 people routinely reporting in on our weekly net, so it's,
Good.
if anything big happens, we know we've got that many people to count on.
Absolutely.
That's all I got.
That's pretty much it.
Well, thank you, guys. Julie,
Oh, well, you asked. Have we got any news on a custodian or maintenance person or anything?
actually, we're going to, me, Michelle, and HR is gonna meet one day this week yet, as soon as HR tells us the date for interviews.
Do you have some applicants?
We have some we had several, we got it down to 3 or 4, and, we'll see how many of them wanna show up and talk to us, but yes, absolutely.
Okay, and what about these buildings? Have we made any headway in what we're doing with all our new found property?
I don't know, I've not heard from a bank, we're waiting on that for this building over here.
Okay.
I don't know.
Survey was completed, that was last week, 300 and some people. There was maybe 10 mail-ins, just don't hold me to these exact numbers, but that's what I remember on the message I got, so that's kind of where we're at with that, I haven't followed up with it.
Still in the process.
Well, 8s and 11s on rock, is that what we generally look at?
8s are basic,
That's what we use a lot
what
of.
we put on the road, and then 11s run through our Durapatcher. Alright. Michelle,
Not much, update on the phone system, been given data to level 365, phone tree. They'll be contacting departments, gonna get their setups to individual, what they want. Projected install date is this month, Monday the 25th or Tuesday the 26th, one of those days. Monday came last Thursday we went around to every department and kind of looked to see. We had a list of what matrix was taking out, it's just model numbers, so it was kind of hard to match up with where stuff was, but, so they could kind of tell what we're gonna have to replace, so. That is going to be coming, probably sooner than I would want to, because I don't know how the timing is gonna work out, but, 'cause I haven't got a quote of,
right,
what it is gonna take to replace it. He did send me an email late last night that, kind of list of several things, but there was no numbers. So I don't know yet, those hard numbers. So that's kind of where we are now. They do require we buy the phones, of course, before they come to put them in, so that, yeah, I gotta figure out that if okay to charge that on a credit card, I guess. With you guys?
I wouldn't see why not, I mean,
Okay. Gotta pay for it for a meeting probably, your next meeting is the 29th, 26th.
Can we just, my God, we get charged 3%, won't
We don't, they probably do.
we? You sure they don't charge you 3% if
Man, a lot
you
of
run
people
for,
pass it on
everybody's
anymore.
passing that on, 3%'s a lot on,
Yeah. I don't know for sure, I'll find out, but
I mean, can't be that tough to,
how else could we go ahead and approve you paying for the phones?
we passed an ordinance through the solid waste to be able to do that.
yeah, if you guys could go ahead and
Well,
approve,
we just have to put up to a certain dollar amount, or
I mean, don't we kinda know what it was?
it's like
Eight-
12,060, but
I'd say stay below 15,000.
I'll make a motion to pay, for the phones. Was that ARPA, right? Was that ARPA?
that one was, yeah.
A cap of $15,000.
That's a motion by Cody, second by Aaron, all in favor? Alright, yeah, that way you don't have to wait, you can just get that done and.
Yeah, I just,
Yeah, 3%.
You gotta be a little more, I mean, on big purchases, you know, I mean, I know it's
Yeah.
inconvenient, but
Somebody's gonna make a motion on purchase of a new laptop for Michelle.
for God's
They tell-
sakes, I make a motion to approve to buy a new laptop for Michelle for a second time. It's the second time we've made this
Yes.
approval.
Mandate.
Next time, we'll mandate it. That's a motion by Cody, second by Aaron. All in favor? Aye.
I believe that's all I have.
I mean, we appreciate your effort of keeping the old one going, but I mean, it's,
Well, it's just that, and I just have this one, I have two other laptops that,
and if you wanna wait till after the first of the year, whenever the new program or whatever hits, or, I don't know anything about it. But
yeah,
Cody mentioned something
I
about,
just know there's stuff.
might need some like IT help, and I really don't have that, so. Yeah,
well, we will have,
yeah,
yeah, all right. So whenever you feel confident in getting you one, Okay.
okay, thanks.
nothing else?
Nope.
Anybody have anything else? Yep.
Michelle, was everything found on Ekmundi's list?
We're missing probably like 6, their Wi-Fi
Access
things,
points.
yeah,
So,
sorry.
so if Matrix is, I don't wanna use the word threatening, but if they're coming in to take those, what could be important pieces of everyday operation for our facilities, can they not provide where they've installed these?
Yeah,
Instead of just providing a serial number or model number that we have to go find.
yeah, that was Ekmundi's next suggestion is they can somehow do a ping on them and see if they can tell what IP address they're coming from, see what department they're in. So. But yeah, we did find most everything but those. I know just there's, like Andy had said, there's, what do you call, those on the 4-H building and your building, we're gonna have to,
Those were bought with ARPA money, so they don't have anything to do with Matrix.
oh,
So, at least in the EMA building and the community building.
well, no, like on
Now,
top of the buildings.
If there's one up in the learning center, then yeah, those are probably Matrix.
On the outside of the building, there's like 3
Oh.
panels, 3,
Oh, okay, yeah. There's a pair that go between the learning center and the EMA building that belongs to Matrix.
yeah, so those are gonna have to come off somehow at some time.
Climb up the ladder. My building is no big deal.
Other building, yeah.
Keep to the learning center.
Is it still being used? Like, are you actively using them now?
I use them because I've just had no compelling reason to, switch over. The phone system currently goes through those. So I've not had a compelling reason to take them down, but they are not necessary.
Okay,
Yeah, I haven't got a date with Matrix of when they're pulling stuff out. So they sent me an email yesterday.
hope they give us a date.
It'll be, yeah, it'd be kind of devastating to be having no phones.
But when's our bill due? We went to monthly, so when's our bill due every month with them?
The 30th is what Candy told me this month.
Sure, they wouldn't pull them out before.
They wouldn't pull them out before the 30th. They may pull them out on the 30th. We'll see. It'll all work out. We can't think that way, so. Think positive, right? Think positive. Anything else, Michelle? Anyone? If not,
Are they billing us for the time to take those down? Okay, so
Yeah,
if I take it down in advance of their getting there, then. I'll
that'd be
take it
appreciated, yeah.
down.
if nobody has anything else,
Contact, make sure you're tied off.
Cody, do you have anything?
If I did, I forgot.
I'm good.
Aaron's been kind enough to let us meet again next meeting on the 26th at 9 AM. I know it's a inconvenience for him, but I appreciate that, Moose.
No problem.
It'll be in here Tuesday, November 26th at 9. If anybody else has anything? Nobody?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Aaron, second by Cody. All in favor? Aye. Thanks for coming. I believe everybody in here is starting to come down